Welcome back to Barley and Hops. I'm Ray, and today we're going to demonstrate a simple sugar wash. A lot of customers call in, they ask the question, what's the difference between table sugar and corn sugar? Well, for my beginners, I usually recommend table sugar. Table sugar is readily available, it's relatively inexpensive, and it ferments pretty good. Corn sugar, on the other hand, is a bit more expensive, and it ferments a lot cleaner. Today we're going to do both. We're going to sterilize, we're going to mix, we're going to test the gravity, and we're going to pitch yeast. Let me grab my star sand, and I'll be right back. Well, welcome back. I've got about 2 gallons of warm water in here because table sugar requires warm water in order to dissolve the rest of the water I poured over here, but we'll get that in a minute. A good sugar wash has about 10 to 15 pounds of sugar in it. So I'm going to use 14 pounds of table sugar because that's what I got. And I'm going to start mixing it in here. Now, table sugar, as you know, is made from sugar beet, sugar cane, and it basically is about 85% fermentable or so. And we're going to dump it in here very slowly. And as you notice, as we're pouring it in here, it turns the water a different hue. It turns like a bluish green or sometimes a light purple, but that's how we know there's something else in there besides sugar, because it kind of turns it a different color. So now I'm going to take my paddle, which has been sanitized, and I'm going to give it a good stir until it's nice and dissolved. As you can see, the table sugar has a kind of an opaque green, yellowish hue to it. Okay, now we're going to do the corn sugar. Again, we got 14 pounds. Now we're going to give it a good stir. Top it off to 5 gallons. As you can see, the corn sugar versus the table sugar, the corn sugar is nice and clear, whereas the table sugar's got kind of a greenish yellowish hue to it. But they both got fermentable sugars, and we're going to measure that here in just a minute. Okay, folks, we got our sugar washes inside of our glass test jars. We got our hydrometers inside the glass test jars, and we're going to check specific gravity and our potential alcohol, because the first reading is not the alcohol level, it's the potential alcohol that's in our sugar washes. Okay, we're going to check the table sugar first, and as you can see by our hydrometer, that the specific gravity is about 1.1. All right, there we go, right there, about 1.130, which gives us a potential alcohol of about 17.5%. For our corn sugar, you can see the specific gravity, if I can get to stop moving here, is about 1.104 and gives us a potential alcohol of about 14.5% or so, if I can get the thing to stop moving, about 14.5% or so. This is initial gravity reading. When you call me and you ask me about your fermentation process, the first question I'm going to ask you is, what was your initial gravity reading? If you can't tell me what it is, I have a hard time troubleshooting. From this point, we're going to pitch yeast. We're going to wait a couple of weeks, and I expect this to drop down somewhere near the 0 alcohol reading. That's a good thing, because that means at that point there's alcohol present in here. We take the initial alcohol reading and we subtract the second reading from it, and that gives us our actual alcohol content inside, our ABV, inside of our sugar wash. At this point, I'm going to pitch the yeast. I usually try to get a really good spread on there. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because the yeast is going to go throughout the whole mixture. I'm going to give it a good stir with the spoon. Get it all nice and mixed up in there. Do the same for the corn sugar. Now remember, folks, this turbo yeast already has yeast energizer and yeast nutrient in it. So this stuff's gonna start bubbling within 24 hours. Actually, probably start bubbling in a couple hours. Well, that about wraps it up. The last thing we need to do is put some lids on, make sure the airlocks have water in them, and store these in some cool place around 68 to 75 degrees if possible. So, happy brewing.